Hey guys, welcome back. So glad you're here. Thanks for joining me. We're going to work on this bow today. It is the bow I used for the Christmas swag, and it is big and beautiful and really obnoxious to me. It's just too big, and I don't like random. At the end of this video, I'll show you my preferred type of bow. But here, I started making 7-inch loops. I was using my Bow Dabra. I prefer the bow maker, but it's lost in all my crazy mess somewhere. And I did this wrong, so what I'm going to tell you, forget about it. But I did all of one ribbon, then all of another ribbon, 4 times on 4 different ribbons. I did 7-inch loops, 2 of those, a 6-inch loop, and then a 5-inch loop on each side. And then I couldn't get the smaller loops up to the front, so I ended up scrapping all this, going in and doing the 7-inch loops with all 4 ribbons twice, then 6-inch loops with all 4 ribbons twice. You'll see that. But I like to show the mistakes because I say to people all the time, you don't get to see the mistakes we make, and everybody feels like, oh, everybody on YouTube does perfect work. No, we don't. We just get to edit out the stuff that's not right. Now we'll actually start the tutorial part. But again, I feel it's important for people to realize we don't always do it perfect. We don't always do it right. Mistakes are made. I am what I call a craft room cusser because I don't really cuss, but sometimes I get so frustrated in my craft room that I might throw out an S word or a D word. But I'm all alone, so it's okay. I don't think God hears it if you're by yourself. So what I do is I'm doing 7-inch loops on each side. And I've centered my Bow Dabra on one line so I can measure out with my board, craft board there on the bottom. And this time I'm taking the same ribbon. I didn't trash the ribbon, but I'll make a 7-inch loop. And then I leave those tails off to the side because I'll come up after I do all 4 fabrics or ribbons once. And then I'll make the other set of loops. So like I said, at this point, I've got a lot of cut off ribbon because I did cut off the other bow only to realize I did not like it. So 7 inches on each side with each ribbon. And I've said this before that I'm working on making a bow maker that's even easier than the Bow Dabra or the bow maker, because people just struggle sometimes with this stuff. Like here, it's just a lot of ribbon. And I know people can get confused watching these things. I get confused and I did it. But if you watch the step-by-step, you'll be able to kind of follow along. But it's still overwhelming if you're not really focused in on it. So I'm trying to make something that's just foolproof, that's really simple. Plus, I always say some people have dexterity issues with their hands, and so they can't manipulate things the way they're supposed to. So I just think it's important to maybe put something out there that's just easy and easy to follow. It'll have measurement guidelines and all kinds of things. I'm very excited. Hopefully this is the end of September right now. By mid-October I'll have a video out on it. But for now, like I said, it's each ribbon. I just go in and make a 7-inch loop on each side with one ribbon, go to the second ribbon, 7-inch loop, do that all 4 times. And then I do 2 7-inch loops with each ribbon. Then I'll go to a 6-inch loop with each ribbon, and then a 5-inch loop with each ribbon. It's a lot. I mean, this bow, again, not my favorite bow, not my favorite look. I don't like random at all. I like symmetrical. Same on one side, same on the other side. That's the way my brain works. But I did want to show it. It's a great Christmas tree topper. I know that they went through a fad years ago with big giant bows on top of your Christmas trees, and I'm not much into fads, but if I liked that, I would still be putting it on my tree. I just never liked that. In this house, we do angels on top of the tree, the way God designed it. And I told y'all in my last video, I recently had someone tell me I just talk and talk in my videos. But I'm going to tell you right now, I hope that you can watch it and kind of follow the step-by-step. I give instruction as needed. But the reality is I just talk to you guys like you're my best friend sitting next to me and we're crafting. So hopefully that works for you. But take all these loops out, and this is where I can show you it's a lot. It would be much easier if I used a zip tie, but I think you have already heard this a few times. I don't know where they are in my craft room. It's such a mess. So once you get your ribbon all put together, this is just exasperating for me to watch. You just start fluffing. This is the best part of bow making though. Fluffing and fluffing and fluffing. And honestly, there gets to a point where it's like, okay, you've got to get it on your project so that you can fluff it and make it look right on your project. But yeah, fluffing it out is my favorite part. But you can see it's just a lot in there. You just make sure each loop is nice and rounded. But I get mesmerized by watching the fluffing part. Sorry. But this one's going to it needs to be put on the project, and then I can figure out where to go with it. I do my tails separately because I was just there measuring kind of how long did I want the tails to be on there. But it's so much easier to do them separate, and you can't tell once you put them on. I think I did a couple at 36 inches and then a couple at 24, maybe one at 24. This is just a preference. And again, just like the bow gets away and is too much, I feel like the tails are too much. This bow was a lot. But some people like that style. I can't just go with what I like. I think some people maybe need to see how to make a big giant bow. And here it is. So you just measure out the length that you like. I find the center, scrunch it up, put it in my Bowdabra, put a pipe cleaner. Again, would be a zip tie if I knew where they were. And then just twist it off. And then I'm going to add that to the swag and then put the bow on top of it. And like I said, you never know. I will ultimately, when I get it up on the wall, I'll dovetail all those ends. You can dovetail them or cut them at a slant. I will tell you guys this, that I am going to sell the base. I'm also going to sell everything that was on each swag. All of the stuff for the Halloween, for the floral, and for the Christmas one. They'll be on my website by the time this video hits YouTube. But that's all there is. And like I said, it's a beautiful, big, gorgeous bow. It's just more than I like. I'll show you what I like is the symmetrical, like this. You can see the top is pretty, but the bottom, it's the same on one side as it is on the other side. Much more my speed. Guys, we're at the end. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.